So we're gonna get a little more tent specific here in this kind of part of the video. And we're gonna talk about High Country V2 King. Then we're gonna run over and we're gonna talk about High Country V2 Mini. So with the King, you're gonna get a tent that's 48.5 inches wide by 85 inches long. Now what that gives you a full king bed on the inside. And so if you're the person that either A, sleeps in a king bed at home and you just like being that far away from the other person you're sleeping with, then this is the tent for you. You might be the person that's like me and my wife. When we go out, we take our 3 Bernese Mountain Dogs. They're our kids. So they all get up in the tent with us. Yes, it is very comical to watch me do it because they weigh 120 pounds. But that's a great application for us when we want to have space, we want to have our pets with us. That's a really great option. If you're going to be traveling with, pets, you may want to think about the King just for condensation. You've got a bigger space, so there's more air that circulates on the inside of the tent, and maybe that panting doesn't create as much condensation as what just maybe you and your partner would create. The other application that I've used this in the past for is whether I'm going on hunting trips or fly fishing trips. Got a buddy with me and we want to run one tent and we want to have another vehicle that's just our go vehicle that we can transport boats or we can do different applications like that. It's great because it's a very large tent. It's easy to camp with another person in the King. So I think that touches on a lot of applications for the King, but it all comes down to your application and what's going to work best for you. What's interesting about King is it's actually smaller than all of our hard shells, but it folds out to be twice as big as all of them. So the King might be the right option for you. So now we're over here in front of the mini tent on top of the Toyota Tacoma. And what this tent is great for is a ton of different applications. You can basically put it on virtually any vehicle. I've put this on a Porsche. I've put this on a Tesla. I've put it on tons of Tacomas, and it works on all of them because it's a small tent. Similar width dimensions on the King. This one's 48.5 inches wide as well, so it provides a good universal fit. And then it's 58.5 inches long, front to back. So when you fold it out, you're going to get 90 inches of leg length, and you're going to get about 50 inches of interior space, shoulder to shoulder. So the High Country V2 series comes with our hybrid fabric technology. So you've got tri-layer in your windows, doors, and your ceiling. And then you've got our tech fabric for the standard walls. And that allows you to store more bedding on the inside. So we did make that change to go to a hybrid style tent versus a full tri-layer. So that's Mini. Great option for you if you're the person that's got the 5-foot Tacoma. Who knows, you might have a Porsche and you want to throw it on a Porsche or a Tesla. Bring it in here, we'll get you taken care of. So let's touch on Aspen V2 Standard and Aspen V2 XL. Probably my favorite part about Aspen V2 and Aspen V2 XL is just the speed at which you can set it up and access things very easily. If you don't have a great big wingspan, you've got a buckle here, 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 and here. That is more accessible to you where you don't have to work your way all the way around the tent. This is a great tent for anybody that's on the move, is moving spots consistently night after night. That may be one of the considerations that you take into play here versus High Country. When you fold out, we're talking about 2-minute setup. We're talking about 15 seconds with Aspen V2. So if you're the person that's constantly on the move, up and down, really quick, super early mornings, super late nights, Aspen V2 may just be the right tent for you. The other one is if you're kind of a minimalist, you don't want to take your ladder out with you, you just want to crawl in to your tent and get some hours of sleep. The speed and setup of Aspen V2 is second to none. Another thing that you guys are going to see in Aspen V2 is similar to High Country V2 King and Mini is the same fabric construct. So you're going to have tri-layer in the ceiling and on all the windows and doors. Now on Aspen V2, the windows are so big that they are basically doors. So you can get in from any side, whether it's the rear, the driver, or the passenger side. You're good for both applications. At 7 inches of height with air core mattress and our hybrid technology and our fabric, this still allows you to store bedding, be extremely efficient, and speed is key. So if you're the guy that's up and down quick, moving around all the time, don't overlook Aspen V2. I know it's going to be great for you. So Odyssey is one of those tents that's very similar to Aspen V2. You've got a side opening clamshell and you've got a wedge style clamshell. So where this tent is great is when we get into leg length discrepancies with taller individuals. It's probably one of the biggest differentiators between somebody that's getting in a wedge style clamshell versus a side entry clamshell. So what that does for you is when you're in a clamshell that's a wedge style, if you're over 6'3", most likely you're going to be on your stomach where you're tucking your feet down in the bottom. We had a client in here the other day that was 6'7", ended up going with Aspen V2 XL because he slept on his stomach. Now, if he would have slept on his back, I would have moved him over into Odyssey because he would have gotten the full length of the mattress. That's one of the biggest differences in where Odyssey and Evolution shine is with some of our taller clientele. They won't go with the wedge, they'll go with the side opening clamshell. The other application that a side opening clamshell is really good for is if you're running a 270 awning and you want to be able to wrap that 270 awning around the back and not have any worries about where you're going to enter the tent, as you're going to enter from the side. At 7 inches of height with our hybrid tri-layer technology in ceiling, windows, and doors, and then our tech fabric on the walls, allows you to store bedding with the addition of air core mattress. So if you got a full-size truck or you've got an SUV where side opening application is your preference, Odyssey is a great place for you to live. It's a fantastic side opening tent, coming out with new accessories for it in 2024, which we're really excited about. So don't overlook Odyssey. If you're a taller individual and you like the clamshell style tents, Odyssey is a great one. The other thing that we hear on both of these tents is whether it's a wedge or a side opening clamshell, what you're getting with those is you're getting a large wind block on one side. So with Odyssey, you're gonna get the entire tent roof as a wind block. And then with Aspen, you're gonna get it in more of a vertical fashion wind block. So Odyssey is a great option for you guys as a side opening tent and low profile at 7 inches. Gets into most garages and it usually comes down to 1.5 inches or 2 inches of whether or not you're getting in your garage. So don't overlook Odyssey. It's one of our tried and true longest standing tents. Let's talk about our flagship product here at Freespirit Recreation, and that's Evolution V2. We've been running around with Evolution for quite a few years now, and it just doesn't disappoint any customers. You've got 9.5 inches of height here. You've got the middle bar, which you may have heard me say earlier in the video that between Evolution, Odyssey, and Aspen, our standards and our XLs across that lineup are the exact same dimensions. The only thing that is different about Evolution is this middle Z bar. This is what allows you to run a 6-inch mattress, store all your bedding inside, and really give you a tent that just hits all of the buttons and all of the positives that it's going to take for a tent. This is our only tent that comes in full tri-layer, and we really think that's important as our flagship product to leave one that's standing alone that's above the rest. And Evolution just touches everything that you need in camping. Bedding storage is a really big thing now in the market, and I would argue that Evolution probably stores maximum amount of bedding that you could take along with air core. So who is Evolution right for? Just about anybody. If you come in here and you talk to us at Freespirit and Golden, it's going to be hard for you to not walk past Evolution and not want it. It's the tent that people come in and look at Odyssey, they look at Aspen, and most of the time they end up with Evolution, and that's just because it checks all the boxes. a side opening tent with both doors on passenger and driver. Why did we do that? This is kind of one of those things that, you know, when the clientele comes in and it's different and it's for each individual person, but we've had a lot of older folks that have come in and got Evolution because it's so easy to set up. With one push from this hand and just a simple lift from the other side, the entire tent pops straight up. So why two doors, you might ask? Well, if you're sleeping with another person and that person needs to get out in the middle of the night, they don't need to crawl over you. You've got ladder options on driver and passenger, which make this tent awesome. The other thing that's great about Evolution is when it pops up, it kind of tilts forward. So you get a little bit of overhang where you can sit in an expo, up in your tent, talk to people, still be covered underneath that little canopy. Works out really well. So if you're looking for our flagship product, maybe you're looking for your second rooftop tent and you haven't had a chance to experience Freespirit Recreation, I strongly recommend you give Evolution a try, and it may just be your last rooftop tent. All right, so let's touch on one of the most popular tents from 2023 at Freespirit Recreation. It's the Aspen Lite. You guys asked, we listened, we came out with an ultra lightweight tent in 2023, and we made it better in 2024 with a few more options. As you guys may recall, this was a partnership with Talon Sai where he and I built this tent from scratch. We designed it, we wanted the things that we wanted in it, and it ended up just turning out to be a great tent for a lot of you guys. So let's address 2023 versus 2024. We had a little bit of a name change, and I just want to touch on that with you guys. So in 2023, we made one size of Aspen Lite, and we just called it Aspen Lite. That was our 59-inch by 79-inch version, and you guys asked us to make a smaller, just more narrow version, better for a 4Runner or a perfect application here on the Subaru. So in 2024, Aspen Lite Standard is the new smaller size. Aspen Lite XL is actually the size from 2023 that we first started off with this tent. And we just wanted to add the variation, the same as all of our other tents, having two different frame sizes for vehicle fit and function like we talked about earlier. Let's touch on who this might be right for. Honestly, we made this tent for the people. We wanted a tent that everyone could afford and get into Freespirit's quality. As you guys know, we've got one manufacturer. We manufacture all of our tents at the same place across all of our lineups, so our consistency is there across each and every tent. So Aspen Lite, who's it great for? Everybody. Whether you've got a low budget or you've got a high budget, Aspen Lite could be the tent for you. And if you've got on the higher budget, it's going to allow you to get more accessories from Freespirit. If you're just getting out here like Samantha is and you just are just getting into rooftop tents, maybe you got a smaller budget, Aspen Lite Standard, save a few $100, jump in it, have the perfect fit on your vehicle. Aspen Lite comes with our hybrid technology of tri-layer and our tech fabric. That allows you to store bedding on the inside. We've put a couple of videos out on that, as some people just haven't believed that you can fit bedding in a 7-inch tall tent. But with the addition of AirCore, it really allowed us to stuff quite a bit of bedding on the inside of this thing, and it's just been a surprise and a great thing for a lot of people. So if you're budget minded, if you're thinking about more accessories, stretching that budget a little bit farther to get more camping gear, Aspen Lite might be the tent for you, and we know it's going to do a great job. Let's touch on just a few of the main differences between Aspen Lite and Aspen V2. So Aspen Lite comes in at 79 inches of length. So it's better for a short roof line like this Subaru or like the FJ Cruiser. So I really like this tent for people that are under 6 feet. The mattress is 72 inches, but the inside dimensions, you've got more length than that. I can sleep in this tent. I just have to sleep on my stomach, but it's a great tent for a lot of people. So one of the biggest things that you guys are going to notice is this is a Tonahue style cover. So it's a soft top. We are about to launch crossbars for this tent, so you will be able to transport gear on the top. There is one caveat to that. You've got a single track on the top and a single track on the bottom. Aspen V2 has a double track on the top and the bottom. So technically it can carry more weight, whether you want to mount an awning to the side of it directly to the tent. Aspen V2 is going to be your avenue to get that done. Aspen Lite is not going to handle an awning on the side of it, but we are working on an awning mount to come out for Aspen Lite, so you can mount an awning directly to the tent and its frame and be able to not worry about your rack. So Aspen Lite is a great option for you guys if you're budget minded. Maybe you're a novice, this is your first rooftop tent. We made it for the people at a price where everybody could afford it. Get out there, experience our quality, and just have a great time camping. Hey guys, this is Ben and Archer here at Freespirit Recreation. We hope you guys enjoyed our rooftop tent buyer's guide video. We covered a lot of information here, from racks, tents, different vehicles, fit versus function. We hope it was beneficial to help you in your buying process. We're a family-owned and operated company here in Golden, Colorado. Feel free, give us a call. We'll take care of everything, and we'll get you on the road for more camping adventures. Get out there, have some fun.